Quick Facts with Franklin. I hope you learned something. Love you. Bye. One disease erased itself from the planet. Smallpox killed 300 million people in the 20th century before vaccines wiped it out. A vaccine trained immune cells to recognize smallpox ahead of real exposure. By 1980, every person on Earth lived somewhere disease-free for the first time in history. Your body runs a wanted poster database on every pathogen it has ever met. Your immune system trains without ever getting sick. A vaccine delivers a harmless antigen instead of live disease to kickstart recognition. Immune cells scan that shape and build memory cells to hold the pattern. Those memory cells store a blueprint for next time, locked in until a real pathogen shows up. This creates immunity without illness. No fever needed, and it's ready to deploy the second infection tries. So here is what happens when that trained system faces a real pathogen. An unprepared immune system loses the race. A naive body needs nearly 2 weeks to respond, while the virus multiplies unchecked. That head start lets the virus take hold before defenses kick in, and it won't stop until they ramp up enough. A trained immune system attacks within hours instead. Memory cells recognize the familiar shape instantly and flood the bloodstream with antibodies before symptoms even appear. Now, the mRNA vaccines that dominated this decade carried a different twist to the same mechanism. mRNA vaccines do not alter your DNA. Your cells read those temporary instructions once, build a target protein, then destroy the mRNA within days. The protein triggers recognition by immune cells scanning for invaders. That instruction set never enters the nucleus where genome material lives and changes nothing permanent about your genetics. To learn more about how vaccines work, read about immunology and virology, the fields that study immune memory and viral defenses. Only one human disease has ever been erased from existence entirely. The World Health Organization declared smallpox eradicated in 1980. After 300 million deaths ended through a single mechanism repeated worldwide. Enrico Fermi started the nuclear age beneath a Chicago football stadium. He was the last physicist alive who could turn chalkboard theory into working machinery, and he did it on a squash court. The year was 1942. Most great physicists either calculate or build, but Fermi did both. Washington put him in charge of the first reactor. In 1938, Fermi's Nobel Prize doubled as his ticket out of fascist Italy. His wife Laura was Jewish, and Mussolini's new racial laws had just made their family a target, so they sailed for America and never returned. The prize cited his work firing neutrons into uranium to create new radioactive elements. Fermi collected the metal in Stockholm. Then he boarded a ship to New York instead of sailing back to Rome. Within months, he was running a lab at Columbia University. On December 2, 1942, Fermi's pile produced the first sustained nuclear chain reaction. He stacked uranium and graphite blocks inside a squash court under the university's football stadium, and quietly split the atom without a single explosion. The pile rose 57 layers before sustaining itself. Criticality arrived at 3:25 in the afternoon. Fermi raised one hand and shut it down. That reaction made the atomic bomb possible 3 years later. After building the atomic bomb, Fermi publicly opposed the far more powerful hydrogen bomb. He called the hydrogen bomb a weapon of genocide, not a tool of war. Then, in 1950, he posed a lunchtime question that became the Fermi paradox, the puzzle of why no aliens have ever shown up. The galaxy holds billions of planets. That silence still bothers physicists 75 years later. To learn more about Enrico Fermi, read Atoms in the Family, his wife Laura's memoir. Fermi proved that one person, working quietly under a stadium, can split the atom, and that the hardest part comes after. His reactors still run. That paradox still has no answer. Welcome to Louisiana, where the coast loses a football field every 100 minutes. That loss is 16 square miles of wetlands each year. Baton Rouge became capital in 1849 after a red stick marked the boundary. The Pelican State joined the Union in April 1812. The Atchafalaya Basin holds 1.4 million acres of bayous and lakes. Watch boats move from a levee at dawn where roads vanish into cypress knees. Visit Louisiana for the disappearing coast and leave with wet boots. The brown pelican is Louisiana's official state bird. It can plunge dive from 60 feet while carrying a 3-gallon pouch. The pouch drains water before swallowing fish. You can spot them over coastal marshes where shallow Gulf water lies calm. Watch for the pelican's brown wings folding before impact. That plunge feeding mirrors Louisiana's reliance on the Gulf. Mammoth Cave stretches farther than any other underground passage on Earth. It spans 426 mapped miles, and explorers keep finding more each year. That is the drive from Boston to Washington, and every mile of it sits underground. The reason is stranger. The cave started with rain. Weak acid dissolves limestone grain by grain. Water picks up carbon dioxide from the air and turns corrosive as it falls. That weak solution finds every crack in the rock and gradually widens it year after year. Carbonic acid from rain has spent 10 million years slowly carving these tunnels into stone. 5 layers of limestone have been eaten through, each one at a different depth. It's still growing. The acid is only half the story. A river runs underneath everything you see. The Echo River still flows through these halls, chiseling fresh tunnels beneath your feet. That water's been cutting new passages for as long as anyone has been down here. Explorers have mapped rooms that flood all the way to the ceiling during heavy rains. The cave is alive. Its residents are stranger. Those residents have never seen the sky. Blind creatures live where sunlight never reaches. Eyeless shrimp and colorless fish survive here, feeding on a food chain built from bat waste. The source is above. Bats roost in the upper chambers, and their droppings feed everything below. No sunlight means no plants, so the ecosystem runs on that waste instead. It's a closed world. To learn more about Mammoth Cave, visit official website for guided tours and cave explorer resources online. 5 limestone layers hold the whole system up. The cave's rock layers were each etched during a different chapter of Earth's history. Those 426 miles are still being written. Visit Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky, where new discoveries happen daily. I hope you learned something. If not, let's watch again. Love you. Bye.